Okay, folks, welcome to the Fife Property Market Update. This is the week beginning the 10th of March to the yesterday, the 16th of March. Okay, so we're looking right across the Fife Property Market. We're telling you all about the properties that are actually available for sale versus the properties that have actually sold in the week. We're through all the estate agents. I tell you what, this is a clear message. There is a boom market. However, there's a qualification right here about the boom market. It is only up to a certain price point, and let me explain. Now, if you've been keeping an eye on some of the information that we've been doing recently, there's actually a post on here just after on all our pages after the update informative graphics. In other words, over the time frame, there's been a 19.4% increase in the UK house sales agreed since 2023 to 2024 to the end of February itself in comparative transactional numbers. This is transactional numbers. This is not price increases or price decreases. Transactional numbers is quite good for the health of the property market overall, and in Scotland itself is actually doing quite well. So in Scotland, the transactional numbers are up 13.2% year on year. So in other words, there's 13.2% more properties sold from January to February this year as opposed to last year at the same time frame. That's good news overall because last year was a bit of a restricted market, but it's good for the flow of the property market itself, and it keeps it turning over quite neatly, I would say, and quite balanced. We're in a balanced market overall, but there's no surprise when I talk about boom. Let me explain. Let me show you these numbers to show you how much the market has boomed last week in terms of house sales. Demand is clearly outstripping supply. Here it is right here. If you look across all the regions, Cooper 9 versus 9, so balanced market in Cooper in that week. East Neuk 8 came on, 7 sold. St Andrews 5 came on, 9 sold. 5 on, 9 sold. Boom in that week. Leavenmouth 9 came on, 18 sold in Leavenmouth. So double the amount of properties last week sold in Leavenmouth as opposed to the number of properties listed. Dunfermline 53 versus 54. Glenrothes 9 came on, 19 sold, almost double again. Kirkcaldy 21 came on, 30 sold itself. So overall, in the Fife property market last week, over all the estate agents, we listed on Rightmove 114 properties and we sold on Rightmove 146 properties. That is demand outstripping supply. Just let me give you a statistic here. 146 divided by 114. 128%. 28% more properties actually sold as opposed to what was listed. Now, the qualification I'm about to say here, in case everybody gets excited, we're into a boom market and prices are going to go up again. That could not be further from the truth. We're in a balanced market, but it's a boom market. Let me explain. 95 of these 146 properties actually sold below the 200,000 mark. So 95 properties sold below the 200,000 mark. That's 68% of these properties. Under 300,000, 119 of these sold out of the 146. That's 81% of these properties. So as I said before, everything up to round about the 250, 300,000 price point is actually selling quite well, and the rest are taking a bit longer, and less of them are actually selling at a higher price point above that because affordability levels are still there. We still have an affordability issue in the UK economy. People cannot afford mortgages at high rates just now because the Bank of England is still at a base rate of 5.25%. When is that going to come down? Well, let me explain. Some of the figures out this week. Unemployment figures were out this week, and it was a surprise for the actual city. Unemployment levels went up from 3.8% to 3.9%. Now, it doesn't seem like much in terms of unemployment numbers, but let me explain. Wage growth as well fell from 5.8% to 5.6% in that time as well. So wage growth is falling, which is kind of good news for keeping inflation under control. But inflation is still still at the 3.94% level. So it's still inflation, still double digit, double what it is or what it should be according to the Bank of England. So the Bank of England potentially might not be easing off on base rates anytime soon as a result of that. However, If unemployment's going up, and we have seen 46,000 new vacancies less. So in other words, the new vacancies have gone down by 46,000 in that week, which represented so there's 908,000 jobs available at this moment in time. So it's less by 46,000. So employers are actually beginning to not advertise as many jobs now. So there might be an indication there at the overall market has actually got to a tipping point where, in terms of the jobs market, in terms of where employers are now to be a bit more leaner in terms of the number of jobs they've got available for what they're needing to do themselves. Now, there's no surprise, transactional numbers towards the end of last year, 2023, in the property market was actually significantly less than it was the year before. Hence the reason you don't need as much resources. Hence the reason you don't need as much jobs. Hence the reason you don't need to employ as many people as a result of that. That's why there's less jobs advertised right now as opposed to what it was last year overall. Overall, it was around about over 1 million last year advertised. So it gives you a good indication about we're turning a wee bit of a corner. We're slowing down a bit in terms of the economy itself, but we're not slowing down to the point we're hitting recession or anything like that. We're just having a wee bit of a slowdown to a balanced market overall. And as I said before, everything up to about the 250, 300,000 mark is selling extremely well, and it's selling extremely quick, if that's the case in some occasions. But everything beyond there has to be priced appropriately, and it will take a wee bit longer to sell overall. So if you've got your house on at that level, if you're thinking about listing at that sort of price point of the 300,000 and above, just be aware it might not just happen straight away, and that's okay. That is a normal market right now. It's where we are right now in terms of what we're doing. So 908,000 jobs available right throughout the whole UK economy. Let me flip on and talk about what we were discussing in terms of what was actually sold this week. Let me talk about what we've sold. Give you a good indication about what's selling and at what price point. And this will probably reflect exactly what I talked about it's everything below the 250,000 mark. It's actually selling quite well. So let me just get my numbers up, my properties. So here's the first one here. Sold last week, Rosemont Grove and Leiden. It took a bit longer than usual because it was on at offers over 290,000. So it took 6 months. So it took a lot longer than typically usual to actually sell. So if you're thinking about putting your house on and it's that kind of price point you're looking at, put it on a lot earlier. Don't leave it till last minute till you find your dream home and then suddenly find out that your property is not going to sell as quick as it should have, because everybody's telling you it'll sell quick. And then if you are going to sell quick potentially, then you could probably manage the sale if your agent's if your agent's skilled at that, they could manage the sale and actually get the extended entry date to allow you to find your next property overall. Or you just wait for the next person to come along, if that's the case, to buy your house and they'll agree to your terms. So Rosemont Grove and Leiden sold. Lawrence Drive, here's the ones that we're talking about in terms of price point and stuff like that. So Lawrence Drive, this is away in 4 weeks. 3-bedroom ground floor flat, and it was on at offers over 80,000. See how 4 weeks, 80,000. Jewers Building, same reflection, sold in 3 weeks, and it was on at offers over 65,000. Orchard Grove and Leaving sold in 4 weeks when it came back on, and it was on offers over 165,000. So that's away as well. Taylor Street Methil sold in 1 week. That was on at 40,000. See how all the lower price values are going pretty quick because they're more affordable for people. And Heathercote and Glenorchy sold in 4 weeks. That was a 3-bedroom end terraced house, and that was offers over 57,500. West Shore and St Monans. Here's the one. West Shore and St Monans. 3 months, Spinnaker Cottage and 3-bedroom townhouse, and it was offers over 550,000. That took a wee bit longer than the usual average of 2 months. It took 3 months to sell. West Shore and St Monans, 550,000, 3-bedroom townhouse, and that one is away. So it shows you some of them actually do sell quite well, but they will take a wee bit longer than usual. Just bear with it and hold tight and understand that is how the market is right now. Okay, let's talk about some of the things. If you're before we talk about all the properties actually coming to market, we're about to announce them. If you're interested in them, by the way, please feel free to message us direct about the property that I talk about, and just give us your contact details, message us privately direct on this post, message us privately direct, give us your contact details and who you are, what property you're interested in, and we will give you a heads up as soon as we've got more information on this. But these properties that I talk about will be coming to market. Yeah, let's talk about them now, and we'll do about raising the rent in a minute. If you're a landlord, hold on for this one about raising the rent, how to do this skillfully, because this is what's happening the 1st of April. The new legislation's coming in for rent adjudication, rent rising, rent assessors, and all the rest of it. So you're wanting to get a good insight into that, especially if you're an investor and you're a private landlord. So coming soon, Denver Place in Crail. That one will be coming on. That's a 2-bedroom first floor flat. Pinkerton Road in Crail, 2-bedroom detached bungalow. Hen's Teeth, Pinkerton Road in Crail, 2-bedroom detached bungalow will be coming on. Kelsey House in Auchtermurty, 2-bedroom ground floor apartment. Kenwick Drive in Kennaway, 3-bedroom semi-detached house. Priory Court in Pittenweem, you've probably seen that pre-portal, 1-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. As soon as I mention bungalows, watch out for them because they're pretty quick. They'll go pretty quick. Hillview Road in Balmollo, 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. Farm Cottage in London Links, that's Pilmere Road. 1-bedroom cottage. I tell you what, that's got a huge back garden. It's got amazing views over the fields, and it's got an outbuilding which could be converted to a home office quite easily. Plus, the house could be extended out to the back because everyone else has done it. So that'll be a really good one. 1-bedroom farm cottage. Main Street in Strathkinnis, 4-bedroom detached house will be coming on soon. Acorn Court in Cellardyke, 2-bedroom first floor flat. It's apartments coming on. You've probably seen the pre-portal for that recently. Brighton Road in Cooper, 4-bedroom detached bungalow. It's an amazing, finished a real high standard, this one. Main Street in Collinsborough, 4-bedroom terraced house. Cashview Strathmiglo, 3-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. Bowdern, Baldini in series, 5-bedroom detached house will be coming on. John Street in Cellardyke. This one overlooks the sea, by the way, so it's on the right side of John Street, overlooking the sea. But basically, open your gate, walk onto the beach, and then you're into the water for kayaking and open water swimming. So John Street in Cellardyke, 4-bedroom terraced house is actually coming on. A 3-level townhouse. This one will be, because I've been in it, and then it's got a basement. It could be ripe for conversion overall as well. Milton Place in Pittenweem. That's another one. 4-bedroom detached house will be coming on as well. So watch out for that one. Milton Place in Pittenweem. That's a cracking property. Probably Victorian era. It's a huge property, and it'll be a great price point as well. So watch out for that one. Now, I've talked about these ones, so that's a lot of property coming to market with in the next few weeks. We've signed all these up, they're ready to go, and we're putting all the details together. So if you're wanting more information on that, message us privately direct with that, with your contact details. Tell us the one you're interested in overall. You could rewind it back in if you're not sure what I said with that one and when it was and what it was. You could still rewind this and just go back to what I said later on. Raising the rent. Richard and I did this yesterday. If you're a private landlord and you're looking to potentially raise the rent, now that the rent restrictions will be coming to an end, the rent freeze or the rent cap will be coming to an end on the 1st of April at the end of this month. 1st of April, they're coming to an end. No, it's not April Fools. They are coming to an end. So raising the rent, how to renegotiate a higher rent and rate without losing your tenant. Richard and I did this yesterday and talked a good insight into that. And on things like how far is your property slipped behind the current rental values and what to do about that. Why aren't you charging the full market rent? The reasons for that and why you should potentially be for that reason. Is your tenant someone you want to keep? What you should be doing about that as well. Where does the law stand on rent increases? We went in a good insight and dug deep into that, and how to approach your tenant about putting the rent up itself. A lot of private landlords have had a lot of cost they've had to absorb over the last couple of years because of rent freeze and rent restrictions, and they are in a position where they are either going to sell the house and the tenant will have to then leave anyway, or they're going to have to come to the tenant and actually raise the rent. And this is how to do it skillfully without losing your tenant, and how to, so it's not all at loggerheads overall. So if you want to know about that, there's an article in here. So if you click on the link above or below, it'll take you through. You can click on the one that says raising the rent, how to renegotiate a higher rate without losing your tenant, and that'll take you into the 4-minute read article, or you'll be able to listen to the podcast or watch the show with Richard and I. Okay, so that's that one out the way. What's been sold and keys handed over? Well, last week we did actually one, and we did Barney and Millgate and Cooper. That was our first bedroom. I can tell you what the price went for actually, and give you good indication about where prices are in terms of home report values in the Cooper area. One bedroom studio apartment sold in 2 days, and it sold for 3% over the home report value. It represented another £3,000 to the seller. Um, Perfect offset fees against, I suppose, and get their house sold. That's what that's for, really, ideally. So that's that one. Okay, so let's talk about quickly. I'll finish off with a wealth creation show. Fife Property Market report for March, I did. If you want to know more about the Fife Property Market report for March 2024, again, it's in this link. You can click on that. You can listen to the podcast. You can watch the show itself, and it'll give you a good insight into that. Tomorrow, wealth creation show. I have the article already written up here, the script and everything. Yes, it's all scripted, it's put together, and it's a good talking discussion point, and it's interactive as well. Wealth Creation Show, 12:30. Richard and I will be talking about this. This is comparative analysis. Comparative analysis. Let me give an introduction, tell you all about it. Comparative analysis of in wealth creation, for example. The things comparative analysis, specifically within the context of wealth creation, focuses on how individuals can compare different financial strategies, investments, and performance metrics. Now, I will go into detail. This floats my boat perfectly because I am a financial accountant previously and also a financial director in industry. So things like risk profile and annual investment, return on investment, ROIs, cost benefit analysis, and everything like that is something I had an expertise in manufacturing and industry, because that was what I had to do as a cost accountant and management accountant. Comparative savings and retirement plans as well, peer comparison and benchmarking, evaluating entrepreneurial opportunities, quantitative versus qualitative analysis. So we're going to be talking about that and how to make decisions and implement strategies as well. Wealth Creation Show tomorrow at 12:30. Richard and I will be live on these channels. Hopefully that's given you a good insight. And as I said, if you're interested in any of these properties, I've actually said it's coming to market quite soon. Please feel free to message us direct and give us a wee heads up about the one that you're interested in. We can get your contact details and give you more information about that when we get that all collated together. Until next time, guys, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV.